Now we're joined by Tal Heinrich, spokesman for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Thanks so much for being here. So I want to get you to respond to these remarks from President Biden to these donors. It's clear to anyone who's been watching from around the world that Israel is losing support. And he says Israel needs to change its tactics.
So, Elizabeth, you see there's no daylight between Jerusalem and Washington in what pertains to the goal of this operation in Gaza right now.
Yes, but in how you're achieving it.
We said that we want to eliminate the Hamas terrorist regime, see all hostages back home, and of course we want to minimize the civilian suffering and civilian casualties in Gaza to the possible extent as much as we can, and we're doing our utmost efforts to achieve that. Now, the president was also right when he said that the world is looking at Israel right now, and he was right for a few reasons. First, because Israel is really defining the gold standard here in urban warfare. I don't think there's a Western military that has done what the IDF is right now doing to ease the civilian suffering and civilian casualties, to safeguard the civilian population, because humanitarian corridors that we have evacuated, the Human Shield hotline, and the map that we have put forward, and we are announcing ahead of time, we're telling them where our troops are going to operate and when.
Right.
What kind of military does that?
I know, but you are also bombing in places where people haven't gotten any warning, and there isn't any cell service in many of these places. People aren't able to access that information. The UN General Assembly today voted overwhelmingly for a ceasefire and for the end of the war. It shows the vote was 153 to 10. It shows the increasing isolation of both Israel and Israel's biggest defender, the United States.
Well, we know that General Assembly resolutions are non-binding, and we're grateful for President Biden and the administration for the veto last week at the Security Council, where resolutions are binding. But you see, calling for a ceasefire in a resolution that doesn't even condemn Hamas, this is simply ridiculous. What does a ceasefire mean? It means leaving Hamas in power, leaving the hostages in Gaza, and it means that our sons and daughters, the soldiers, have died in vain, that terrorism will just remain there. Our nation took this decision that we can no longer live next to a terrorist enclave.
Well, and this is a terrorist group that has pledged to commit this act over and over again. The Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, has warned the Prime Minister that this kind of bombing will just grow a new generation of terrorists, that you cannot kill your way into security.
So, again, Israel is not bombing indiscriminately. We tell...
A lot of people would take issue with that.
But we tell the population of Gaza where to evacuate and when to safeguard them. Now, I don't think it is a correct statement, because based on historical patterns, you know, the Allies did what they did in German towns, and pure evil of Nazism had to be eliminated, and this ideology has to be eliminated. Now, you didn't see the German society post-World War II going back to Nazism. I think they blame the Nazis for what had transpired. And we're seeing it now, in fact, that we're already, as Hamas terrorists begin to gradually surrender and lose ground, we're hearing these Palestinian voices that are blaming Hamas. The Palestinians are not stupid. They know who is responsible for this situation, who dragged us all into this war.
Yeah,
so they're blaming Hamas.
It's worth noting that Hamas had to know the reaction this attack on October 7th would provoke. They did not warn anybody in Gaza what was coming as a result of this attack that they committed on October 7th. I want to ask you about a report today in the Wall Street Journal that the IDF has begun flooding the tunnels in Gaza with seawater. They had set up these big hoses, I guess, last week, and that flooding process has begun. There are hundreds of miles of tunnels underneath Gaza. How long will this take to flood the tunnels and make them uninhabitable and flush out, hopefully, the leaders of Hamas you're still hunting?
Well, I cannot comment on operational and strategic military activity happening on the ground. I think you'll have to refer this question to the IDF, but we have eliminated a lot of the tunnel infrastructure in Gaza. Unfortunately, there's more. This is why we're operating in the area of Khan Yunis right now in the south, where still there's much of Hamas's infrastructure. That's a very focal city from which much of the planning and execution of the October 7th massacre emerged.
How much does Prime Minister Netanyahu take into account the hostages? Because as you're flooding these tunnels and dropping these bombs, those hostages are in those tunnels in Gaza.
In every moment, every decision, every minute of the day, the hostages are also the top of mind from the Prime Minister and everyone in Israel, honestly. It's a twofold mission, and our goals go hand in hand. Hamas only responds to pressure. The reason why we saw some of the hostages being released based on that outline that we had in place and Hamas broke was because of the military pressure, because we're hitting them hard. We'll continue to do that.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.